One of the hilarious things, hilarious is that the word I chose? I'm eating breakfast. Would you like to eat breakfast with me? One of the hilarious things about this whole virus, no virus conversation is that the people using these words do not mean the same thing by the words that they're using. And so there are a lot of people who I think already understand some of the broad aspects about the no virus conversation, and they will continue to use words about a virus where they have a different understanding of what that means than others do necessarily. And if we are going to resolve conflicts, it's important that we remember that. Eric was mentioning in the latest broadcast, planetwaves.fm, 29th of April, 2022. People who insist on talking about the virus when there is a great contention about what is actually going on here. But even if we say there is no virus, these mechanics are based on what appears to be not true because we can't find it in the science, some people will still have languaging that is anchored with the idea of viruses the way we would say in the no virus camp. There may not be a virus, but you can catch a detoxification signal so that your body resonating around other bodies may realize, oh, those bodies are detoxifying this thing. I had better detoxify this thing too. And that's legitimate. And that's what many people have anchored for themselves as a virus. And I mean, we can talk about the distinctions of that, but it gets really subtle, and we need to have more effective conversations in order to succeed. Most of the conversations we see happening are not effective or succeeding. When we really pay attention to what people mean by the words that they're using and make sure to investigate that more closely, especially in circumstances of expansive, ubiquitous neurological injury, subclinical neurological injury. People are having trouble with words and with languaging and with cognitive processes in ways that we cannot necessarily tell when we're interacting with someone, although often we can tell when we're interacting with someone. We make so much more progress about the virus, no virus conversation if we remember that it's not binary. It's not one thing or the other thing. It has to do with complex, subtle understandings of languaging and of relationships between people having a conversation, but also between bodies. And all of the relationships that our bodies are navigating on a regular basis. Talking about exosomes, that subject alone really requires us to be able to do this. So we've been practicing. The way that we practice in the intuitive network makes other conversations seem unnecessarily conflict-oriented. But it tends to seem that it's that way only because we don't always remember the vast array of different meanings that people anchor in their bodies in vastly different environments with vastly different life experiences. And it has really been a lot of the structures of colonial imperialist influences that have made it seem like languaging and structures are more stabilized than they actually ever were, because part of that seeming stabilization was accomplished by invisible violence and slicing off the bottom of the balance sheet when it comes to capitalism. It's not a full accounting of the balance sheet if you invisibilize and ignore all of the people experiencing the bad parts of the balance sheet. Look, only these good things are happening. These things down here are not happening at all. Don't think about that. That's not, if I say I'm going to pay attention to the top half of my body, this is kind of a funny internet conversation. I'm going to pay attention to the top half of my body. I'm going to completely ignore the bottom half of my body for the rest of my life. I don't care what happens. Kill it, destroy it. It's not going to work out. And we are experiencing how, in regards to however we want to say it, colonial, imperialist, capitalist strategies, maybe. Not really working out. I really love the improved conversations we're all having.